Bristol Motor Speedway is known as the world's fastest half mile. Tonight, the 3-Wide Racing League begins their Yunzer Graphics Super Late Model Tour for 6 rounds. Actually, a little bit more than that, I think we got coming up in the 2020 season here, Finney. And we're going to start it all off at Bristol Motor Speedway. It's known as the Last Great Coliseum. This place is a racetrack that every short track driver wants to add to their list of victories. And tonight, we're going to race for about 125 laps from this special racetrack in Tennessee. Welcome to SimTV. My name is Kyle Hire. I'm joined by Finney and Dakuna tonight for 125 laps with the super late model. The first time that this car has been on the SimTV network in a really long time. So glad to have 15 drivers lined up for action here tonight. Corey Lindsay in the 00 out on track already in his rainbow colored car. The Exalta colors on board this machine as we get set for qualifying for tonight's event.
Yeah, we're going for 5 weeks this for this kind of short season. On Sunday nights for 3-Wide, and this is kind of, they're doing what's called 3-Wide Super Sunday. So for 5 weeks we're going to be doing the super late model. It's going to be 6 rounds. There's going to be one double header 2 weeks time at Lanier, and then after those 5 weeks we're going to switch to doing the V8 supercars. That's going to be very fun to do. So a whole different other side of stock cars, I guess. For the V8s, it's going to be really fun to watch. We look at Jordan Teal. That's
look at him, Jordan Teal. We have not seen Jordan Teal in a really long time, so nice glad to see him back. Yeah, it's been quite a while since we've seen him take to the grid here for 3-Wide Racing League action. We got about 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in qualifying. 6 drivers have laid down times. Let's ride on board with Brent Miller in his number 89 around this racetrack as he begins his qualifying effort.
Currently 7th on the board last of the guys that have put down a qualifying time so far, but if he comes around out of turn number 4, see, this is faster, it's going to be slower, 15.2, so not going to improve. He's going to still be in 7th Levi Zielinski has just put a time down in 9th, and also I believe Race Clark has set a time in the 22s up into 2nd.
So this is going to be a factor here tonight. So we have to talk about the changes to Bristol Motor Speedway in the most recent build here, Finian. So if you notice at the top left of the screen, there is a blue line right next to our scoring pylon there. There is a blue line around the outside edge of pit lane because this is the version of pit road that has just been amended by iRacing so that when you come down pit lane, you have to use both the backstretch pits and the front stretch pits and stay on the apron between turns 3 and 4. This is a change from how iRacing used to do it and still does it on the other version of the racetrack where you only have to pit, whether it's green flag or yellow flag or whatever the situation may be, you only had to pit on your side of the racetrack. There's only 15 cars in here tonight, so they'll all be on the front stretch pits, but they will have to use the entire very empty pit lane on the other side. So that's going to be hard for these drivers to get used to, I think.
Yeah, and I'm actually curious if you have to hold pit lane speed through that section.
You certainly you do in real life, I think. So I would imagine that is the case tonight as well. So qualifying almost complete here, and the scoring across the top of your screen will show you who is where. It's Tanner Sharp that's got the best lap time right now. It's a 14.335. We had to head to Watkins Glen next week with these cars. So that's going to be interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a super late road race before. And then we're going to head to Lanier. It'll be a double header. Then we'll head to USA. 5 Flags on the 3rd of May. And then Road America on June 7th is where we'll pick up with our Super Sunday V8 Supercar Series. This will kind of tandem alongside the National Series, which will be continuing this time on Monday nights. It'll be Bristol tomorrow night for them, as well as Milwaukee and Texas, and the upcoming races, Las Vegas, Iowa, Montreal coming up on the schedule as well. So lots of really exciting races coming up for the 3-Wide Racing League as we conclude qualifying here shortly. Kevin Finn has just pulled onto the racetrack for his qualifying effort in his Ford EcoBoost number 14.
Yeah, really waited till the end to try to put down a lap. Imagine we might see some guys like Mike Grunberg potentially. Actually, we might see Grunberg just chill in the back. And I think he's just going to take a more relaxed approach to this series like he used to in the Cup Series. Just got to stick in the back, not qualify, then work his way up to the order. You would find that more fun. Kevin Finn here coming through turns 3 and out of turn 4. And across the line, lap time is going to be 14.4 for Kevin Finn. That's going to put him in 6th place.
Yeah, P6 for the number 14, Jess Story in 7th, and the number 7 car, pretty fitting there. Jordan Teal, again, we mentioned his return. We've seen him in, big hit for the 14 out of turn 4, so he'll be only 6th place and no better. But we've seen Jordan Teal race in 3-Wide in the past, as well as the Sim Championship Racing Series for Scars Ferrari Challenge. It's been a while since we've seen him over there as well. I don't think I've seen Jordan Teal on iRacing, period, in a couple months at the very least. So, again, welcome to Sim TV. My name's Kyle Heyer, joined by Finney and DeCuna. If you're brand new to the network, make sure you hit the subscribe button to join us for racing almost 7 days a week the next couple rounds.
We're actually starting this new series. Why not let's take a look at the car that we're going to be racing at tonight.
Yeah, this is the super late model car here, Finney. It is a very, very fast piece of machinery. Taking a look at the Toyota Camry version of the super late model car. Again, it is a short track king. It's got a whole lot of downforce considering its weight, but it's 2,800 pounds, 120-inch wheelbase here. But 2,800 pounds is really light for a stock car here, Finney.
Yeah. The engine here, 358 cubic inch V8 and 550 horsepower plus that they're able to put down. I don't know why it said 550 plus horsepower on iRacing's thing, but that's exactly what it is. So that's what the number
I think the reason why is because these engines are relatively not unrestricted. That's not a poor word of usage word, but they're not a spec motor. So you can just like NASCAR used to be. They used to list them as 850 plus because they would typically dyno higher than that, even though the ballpark goes around 850 horsepower. So just around 600 horsepower. They got a whole heck ton of torque. They're big engines. They're fast cars. They're very light for stock cars, and they're a blast to watch short track race. However, they're also really treacherous. They're so wide. That's the thing that we have to watch out for is inside this car. We'll actually ride on board the roll bar inside the 14 of Kevin Finn, or actually even the gyro cam might be a better shot. You're sitting so central to this car, and it extends so far out to either side that you have to make sure that you're not going to run into somebody when you're side by side with them, because you can't. You got to maintain at least that 6 feet of distance in quarantine here, and just sit inside a super late, and you can make sure you'll make that distance.
Yeah, I can go rolls up. Also, there's a Toyota Supra on the grid.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who that was. If it was I
think 22. No,
not Race Clark.
21. McKeevoy.
Oh, there's Jordan McKeevoy in the 21 car. Yes, so he's got a nice looking Toyota Supra. Actually fits on that body pretty well, all things considered. And I guess we'll roll through our starting lineup here. So on the front row tonight, it's going to be Tanner Sharp, the number 3. Race Clark, the 22, will start on the outside of the front row. That'll scroll along the bottom of your screen as we exit turn 4 and head on to the front straightaway here, Finian. Predictions tonight, who's our short track king? Who's going to win this race?
Honestly, I think it's going to be hard to pick him. He's going to be starting in the back of this race, but still don't think he's going to be worst pick. Nonetheless, I think the 54 of Grunberg is going to get it done. Man's fast to know as anything you put him in, so I think he's got a really good shot tonight. Relatively short field to work through, so it shouldn't be too hard for him to get to the front, but still has his work cut out for him.
So 15 cars on the grid here tonight, so a relatively small field that should guarantee us quite a bit of green flag racing. It'll be Jordan Teal bringing up the rear. And up front, it is the 3 of Tanner Sharp that is your pole winner tonight. We're going to use the ticker up top tonight, kind of more traditional look here on Sim TV this evening as the field rolls out of turn number 4. 125 laps of racing about to turn them loose here at Bristol. It's the world's fastest half mile, the last great Coliseum. Let's go racing tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway. Matt Hackathorn in the number 84 is going to head to the outside lane of the 22 of Race Clark. Going to try to roll that upper groove here, Finian, but how much do you think that bottom groove is going to work out? Obviously, we don't see it typically work very well with heavier stock cars like the NASCAR Cup cars or Xfinity cars, but maybe the super lates can make that line roll.
Yeah, the only thing they can, you see them all starting to gravitate more towards that top side lane. You see Corey Lindsay trying to roll in the middle, trying to make up some ground. Matt Grunberg already up into 7th place, running that inside lane. You see him all the way up to that apron.
And there's the 7 of Jess Story on the outside. He's going to be able to carry that momentum. And he's going to scrape the wall a little bit. We're going to see that so much tonight with any drivers with others here. Here comes Finn back to the bottom.
And this is really, you're talking about too, the car being so wide, is the fact it's kind of hard to guess in a way, where that right side of the car is. You're going to have to, be careful and protect your stuff, otherwise you're going to find the wall quite a bit. Now Finn working underneath the 7 of Story. Now here comes Justin Coe in that 52 Nintendo car. Working on the bottom.
And Kolb was going to head on through and pass Jess Story for that 8th spot. Car on the wall background, that is the 06 of Jeffrey Fisher, and Levi Zielinski got a piece of damage there. Here comes Brent Miller, going to try to cross him up as they head down the back straight here.
Looks like Zielinski's all right from that. Maybe a minor scrape to that car, but no major damage. Up in the front, as he clips the wall on exit, it's going to be Race Clark trying to chase down Tanner Sharp in the 3 car, sorry.
First place car is the number 3, as you mentioned. Justin Kolb now taking a look to the inside of Kevin Finn. Contact, and Kolb slides, going to contact the inside wall. He'll get back on course. Some fairly significant damage on that vehicle, though.
Yeah, to the right and even the left front, too, after hitting both the car and the inside wall. He's going to try to continue on.
And there's the 89 of Brent Miller to his outside now, and try to grab a spot away. There's Richard Hines in the 87. Miller just shot up the racetrack in turn 2. Up the road, Matt Grunberg. Trouble! That's Race Clark to the lead. Tanner Sharp must have pounded the fence. He got himself out of position and changed the lead. Let's quickly go jump back. And he just got in the wall out of turn 4. Here's another look.
He's entering turn 3, and he's already up towards the wall. Race car working to that inside lane. And he got loose in the corner.
Yeah, and the 22 took advantage of it. Now Tanner Sharp has dropped back to 5th place and is going to lose another spot here to Corey Lindsay if he continues dropping. That damage must be significant.
He hit that wall a ton.
Yeah, I guess so. Corey Lindsay to the bottom of the racetrack now in the 00. And Kevin Finn going to follow through.
Finn is forward, working on through, trying to work through the field as he's to the inside of Tanner Sharp, working past some of the blurry cars.
Up at the front of the field, Race Clark gets a taste of the lead, and Matt Hackathorn going to try to chase him down. Grunberg to the bottom of the racetrack, though. He has been... Whoa! That was chaos out of turn 2. Here he comes.
Made some slight contact with the 84. Hackathorn going to give him the lane.
11th to 2nd. How about that?
Told you, he's got some work to do. I mean, only lap 13, he's already up. Sorry, 14. He's already up into 2nd place, looking at taking the lead away, so I'm pretty confident with my pick.
And Corey Lindsay as well. He started in 4th, and he dropped back a little bit, but now he's clawed his way back forward. Has put himself back in 4th spot. There's Jordan McKeeboy to the outside.
Yeah, McKeeboy is also another car that's moved up, I think, a few spots. Since the start, he actually started 5th. So I started a little bit further back.
Seems like he's gained spots, but he's just been kind of hanging out.
Kevin Finn, I think, has definitely moved up. hoping. Last few guys I thought.
Have you been paying attention?
No, apparently not. I don't know. It seems like these guys are a little bit further back. I think they dropped back on the start.
Let's pay attention up front, because here's a battle for the lead. Clark and Grunberg side by side on lap number 17.
Yeah, Grunberg again, definitely a car that's moved up from the back.
Yeah,
to
there
the
you
front.
go. Now you got one. Here comes the 54 to the bottom of the racetrack.
And this, I think, where he's going to struggle with. That inside line can definitely work, but you really got to send into these corners and watch the lane on the outside, getting that run off. That's where Clark's been beating him, although he's pretty alongside now, going into turn 1.
Looking off the gyro cam on the 84 behind. The Supra versus the Monte Carlo on the outside lane. That's a combination from hell right there. Look at them side by side on lap number 19. And to the lead goes Grunberg to the top spot.
Oh, Clark not done yet. Going to work back to the inside. Big dive into turn 3 is going to be a little bit tight. Grunberg going to win.
Flip and slide. Grunberg's up the racetrack. Here comes the 22 back to the bottom.
Somehow he didn't clip the wall on exit, and that slip-up cost him a lot of time. Clark back to his inside. Now Grunberg's under attack the same way that he was doing to Clark earlier.
I think Grunberg's got the line that he wants now and no damage on that car, so he should be able to start pulling away. Meanwhile, in the background, you see Kevin Finn to the bottom of the racetrack on Jordan McEvoy. They continue their fight. 21 versus 14. Love the sound of these cars.
Yeah.
They sound like V8 supercars, actually.
Fitting that we're going to be switching to those.
Yeah. Here comes Hackathorn to the inside of Race Clark. I think that damage on the 22 is starting to hurt him aerodynamically. Hackathorn going to have a look to the bottom here shortly. This race is going to go by quick. Wow, in the background you see that was Finn putting pressure on the 21 of McEvoy, and here he is again.
Yeah, McEvoy was loose off the corner, and they got hit by the 14 to Kevin Finn off the corner again for a good measure. Now here comes Finn up the inside, trying to make the pass on the 21. Ooh, it's going to get a little bit tight, almost gets up into McEvoy, has to back off, loses so much time down the straightaway. Still not done though, they're still side by side for 5th position.
Great battles here in these super lates. Again, we only had 15 cars start the grid, and usually that'd be a concern with any sort of stock car racing, but it's a good number for Bristol with these cars.
Yeah, everyone's still running since the start of the race. No one's retired as of yet.
I have to say that. Let's see if someone get rear-ended. There's Jess Story and Justin Kolb, the 7 and the 52, running nose to tail. And Jess Story started in 7th, dropped back to 9th, and has now clawed its way forward back to where he started. But Kolb wants to take that spot away again.
And even though we saw Kolb take some major damage, you can still see the damage on that car to the right and left front. After hitting another car and then hitting the inside wall really hard, he's trying to work back up to the order in 8th, and now working on 7th.
Up at the front of the field, no challenge for Grunberg, but how about Race Clark? He's got a whole mirror full of Matt Hackathorn.
Hackathorn, you see him just a half a lane up in his Dodge Charger.
Great looking livery on that car. Great looking decal package.
How about our top, I guess actually really our top 4 from what I can see. We got a Toyota Supra leading, a Chevy Monte Carlo SS, then a Dodge Charger, and then a Chevy Camaro, and then a Ford EcoBoost.
And then we're back to another Supra. So the top 5 cars are all different, running different models, which is really cool to see. Lap number 30 here. This race taken by pretty quickly. Grunberg continues to lead and drive away. Up a little deeper in the field, Levi Zielinski and Jordan Teal, who started dead last tonight, has moved his way forward and now looks at 8th with a Camry in front of him. I wonder how many different models are in this race.
A lot of different models from completely different eras of racing. Stock car racing specifically, as you look at Zielinski just put a little bit of the wall up ahead. Teal running a little bit of a better line, and Zielinski trying to catch back up to him. And the last time really that we saw Teal was not just in the 3-weight series, we also saw him in Scar's Ferrari for a little bit. He dabbled with that. Yeah, nice to see him back on the track, currently in 9th.
Here's Hackathorn for 2nd on the bottom of Race Clark. And again, trying an inside groove, and I wonder if that's going to get better or worse as the race goes on. Typically, you see that outside lane being the only place to make it work, but we haven't seen these super lates, these 2,800-pound cars, about 800 pounds lighter than a NASCAR stock car. I would expect that bottom lane to be okay, especially after starts and restarts, but effectively go away as the night goes on.
Yeah, it's looking to be a lot more usable than it would, especially with the current cup package. So, I mean, you can definitely use that inside lane on the restarts. It starts to fade out in usage over time. You see mostly everyone kind of gravitating towards that top lane.
And I want to take a look at the weather here because it's kind of pertinent based on the track conditions tonight. 76-degree surface is very cool for Bristol, and that means that we're going to see probably a lot more grip And more grip means more lanes at this particular racetrack, I would say. It opens up that bottom lane. Finn real loose out of turn 4.
Yeah, there's not some sparks. I think Corey Lindsay up ahead to cut the wall. To say that he's running to the inside, yeah. He's gone past Hackathorn. Hackathorn moving back into 4th.
Last time by was a 15.085, which was a lot quicker than the drivers behind him, a little slower than the drivers in front.
Speaking of drivers in behind him, a three-way battle going on. Ooh, and actually a spin from McKeevoy.
Oh, he gets clobbered, Jordan Teal.
Caution out for the first time tonight on lap 37.
And McKeevoy going to be stuck on the banking here.
Say he's got to roll back. There he goes. Might lose a lap here.
Yeah, I think he will. And he's got significant rear end damage, and obviously we saw Jordan Teal get involved. Wonder how bad that damage is going to be on his car, but let's go back and take a look at Jordan McKeevoy and see how he got turned around. Was there contact maybe with the 52 of Justin Cole?
I mean, he might have been. I thought he was a little bit further. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there certainly was contact. That's what sent him around initially. Then, of course, Jordan Teal almost got through there. We'll run on board with the 77.
You can see Zielinski up ahead. He barely makes it on through.
And it should be a good idea to ride on inside the 77 to get a better idea of what he can and can't see. Because inside, that car's gone. You can't see it until now.
Yeah.
And it was too late. Oh, I hear the engine stuttering on that car. Pit stop's underway here as they head out of pit lane, and this is the first time we've ever seen this single pit road as they all make their way around. Don't speed and stay below that blue line. The weird looking sight. You never typically have seen this at Bristol before.
Yeah, this is really weird. In the sim, at least.
Finally make it all their way around, and there's a car still rolling on the racetrack that looks to be the McKeevoy car, so he's going to try to take a wave around here instead of coming to pit lane. I don't think that damage will be significant for him, considering it was mostly in the rear.
Yeah, well, we'll see. He doesn't got a whole lot of time to fix it. We'll definitely try, though.
And Tanner Sharp in. He started on pole tonight, Finian led some laps, but he dropped to the tail after he pancaked the wall out of turn 4. Out of pit lane, that is the 54 Grunberg. Easily will take the lead back. There's Race Clark leaving pit lane now. Kevin Finn and more. Longer pit stops for these cars. So our first caution of the night at lap number 38 at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Yinzer Graphics Super Late Model Tour. And if you're brand new to the network, make sure you hit subscribe and join us for more. This is far from the only racing we have here this week. We've got tomorrow night, we've got ERSCA action from Corey and the crew. They'll be headed right here to Bristol in the Xfinity car. Tomorrow we'll also be here at the same exact time with the National car, so take your pick of Bristol battles, whether it be with Nationals or with the Class B Xfinity car. Tuesday, Fuel will be at Homestead. They'll be climbing the banks of Homestead Miami Speedway as ERSCA did last week. And then Wednesday, the Rodenzo Sports Car Challenge will head to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. I'll be joined in the booth with IMSA driver Tom O'Gorman. Finn will be down on the racetrack competing with a modified format to avoid the iRacing issues and the plethora of problems they're having right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, so if you like racing, it's going to be even better. Instead of 2 races, it's actually going to be 4 separate races with two
kind of doing an SRO format where it's going to be basically GS TCR then GS TCR in that order. So 4 separate races. Again, it was supposed to be only 2, and it was supposed to be multi-class events, but trying to avoid problems as best we can. Thursday night will be Scars Ferrari Challenge. Friday, we will have something this week. It's Homestead with Cup cars, I believe.
Yes, we're doing a one-off.
A one-off event, so I don't have any details yet, but when we do, we'll pass them on to you. Saturday, Outsider Racing League will head to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, and then Sunday we'll be back for more Indy Elite Series action from Long Beach. Field rolls out at turn number 4, coming back to the restart here at lap number 43. Grunberg on the outside lane, and the green flag flies again from the world's fastest half mile.
Yeah, and Grunberg with a fantastic start. Corey Lindsay trying to find his way on through, but it's still going to be alongside Race Clark. Who's going to win out.
The wall out of turn 2 was Grunberg. Almost got into it. And now for third, Finn on the bottom, Lindsay up top.
Still not over yet. Finn looks like he's going to win. And this is what we're talking about, that inside lane being really good on these restarts with Finn able to roll his way on by. Here comes Zielinski also trying to work on past Corey Lindsay stuck on that outside lane. That's not typically something you would hear.
And look at Jess Story. He clears the 0-0. I know he got into the wall a bit now with Brent Miller going to try to file into the bottom of the racetrack.
Yeah, everyone wants their piece and trying to make up as many spots on this restart. Looks like Miller's going to find his way on through, so Lindsay from 4th in line is going to go all the way back into 7th. And still might potentially fall. Here comes the 77 Jordan Teal. He would have been over.
Nick Miller got the fence out of turn 4, and Jordan Teal, we mentioned his damage, Finian.
Yeah.
Doesn't look to be significant. It's repaired, and he's running well.
Yeah, running really well. He's looking at making a pass accordingly. Here he goes up the inside.
Out of turn number 4, to take a run to the bottom of the racetrack. Trying to get up underneath the 00.
It's kind of struggling now with the run off the corner.
Oh, trouble behind. It's Nick Miller. That's a big impact. And Tanner Sharp.
Tanner Sharp.
Second caution of the night. Big hit. Saw Nick Miller get in the wall a couple laps ago, and I think this is just a loose situation. Here's a look. Loose out of 4. Gonna get down here to turn 1, go to the high side of the 52, gets him out of the groove.
As he tries to cut, as he tries to cut back down, and he puts such a load on the car as you're turning the car back down the racetrack, just lost grip.
Here's another look. You're trying to just kind of dive into the corner and come down on the low side.
And you can see as he starts to turn a little bit back in, just comes around because he doesn't have the grip, and then right into the 3 of Tanner Sharp, who has nowhere to go. I think we saw a black and white car.
Yeah, that was the 06 of Jeffrey Fisher. Yeah. The 99 is going to hit that inside wall hard, and they're going to get clobbered by Fisher at the very end.
Fisher almost made his way on through to give him props.
Actually right on board with Fisher. See what he saw. There's the 21 of McKeeboy, who was involved in the previous accident. Was back on the lead lap, by the way. They see that wreck develop as the 99 goes high. Contact, shoots for the gap, almost makes it through and picks up some damage. I ended up actually looping it all the way around in turn 3. Nice little burnout to get rolling, but I don't think it'll be in victory lane tonight, given that damage.
That was impressive, considering he was on the banking, he was able to get that car looped around and going.
So it looks like we've had a bit of a split strategy here on pit stops. A couple drivers have come on down, about 3/4 of the field.
I think a majority of the drivers who've come on down have some piece of damage. I think they're, gonna hammer out, bang out the fenders into place, and should be good to go. Someone had a lot of nose damage that was on the inside.
Levi Zielinski in the 97. Started 8th up to 3rd.
I think Richard Hines. Go to Richard Hines in the 87. Yeah. Some blue car. Might be Nick Miller.
Well, Nick Miller is the one that just pancaked the inside wall, so that would make sense.
Yeah. His damage, he's got a ton of damage to his car.
I am a little upset because that yellow graphic that's behind the number was supposed to be a very dark gray, and it's clashing with a very ugly color in front of it. So I'm going to solve that before next week, but good check. Again, I've been cranking out graphics packages like pancakes the last couple days. I did the SCCA Super Tour the other day. Did that one about 3 hours. Then had to do the Indy Elite Series this morning. Then this one this afternoon, and of course ORL. And then now I've got to do ERSCA tomorrow with the plethora of sponsors that they have. So that's going to be a fun one. So it's been a busy couple days here.
Continue to get busy with a big announcement of the camp.
Yeah, okay. So towards the end of the week, we're going to have a pretty large announcement related to one of the major road racing series in the United States.
Yeah, it limits it.
It limits it down.
Well.
But again, we're not allowed to talk about the plans or anything specific yet. No. But very exciting news coming out of the non-iRacing camp, actually. So stick with us later this week. Make sure you're joined our Discord and like us on Facebook to know more.
Yeah, I think that should narrow it down enough for people to guess.
Well, it's not it. All right, green flag back in the air, lap number 53. I wish it was. Okay, let's correct that. It'd be cool if it was.
Yes.
But it's not. And it's not the SCCA. I'm just saying.
Oh, Reeser looking at Matt Ackthorne. He's getting passed by Kevin Finn on the inside of the battle for 6th place. Grunberg checking out in the lead up front. And then also here comes Richard Hines up the inside in the 87.
Hines having a pretty solid night up to 7th, or now back to 8th place as Hackathorn tries to go around the outside, but the bottom's going to work, and Brett Miller's slow on a turn 4. He's going to get a freight train here.
Yeah, that inside lane is too good on these restarts. There goes the 84. Now here comes Jordan Teal at the inside. He's struggling.
Teal Custom Homes on the car tonight for the number 77. as he rolls and continues in 8th place in the Yinzer Graphics Super Late Model Tour. At the front of the field, Matt Grunberg continues to lead. He hasn't been challenged since he got there. How about 3rd place? Justin Gold sideways, and he'll get back on course.
It doesn't look like he hit anything. Zelensky allowed him to get back in front of him, so gently move there.
Gonna get real busy here. Here comes the 14 to Finn to the bottom.
Echo gonna try to run that outside lane, but not quite there yet. He's just gonna get clear of the 14, but that inside lane's still a threat.
Oh, bit of a bobble. Oh man, a slip and a slide out of turn 2.
That's what happens. You're demanding so much grip out of these tires that they just cannot provide, and clips a little bit of the wall. Caution out behind these guys.
3-car pile up in turn 3.
It's
the 06 of Jeffrey Fisher, the 3 of Tanner Sharp, and the 99 Nick Miller. You see the leader gonna dip underneath the apron as the 06 slides down the racetrack.
Watch out. He's gonna call it a night there, and he's gonna escape.
That was a wild one. Let's go back and have a look-see here at how this all started. Nick Miller, I think it actually started up the road. The 3 and the 06, they get together on the straightaway.
Yeah.
And Nick Miller just got in there at the end. 3 actually came off the wall about a foot, but that, that's just both guys just not quite given the room required for that particular moment.
Yeah, I'd say Fisher.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. There's about 2 or 3 feet to the. Let's look at this in slow motion, get a little bit of a better view here, because I mean, again, you can't expect perfection at a track like Bristol, but out of turn 2, 06 going to drift up. The 3's also he's going pretty straight, isn't he, Finian? But he's got a whole car width to his right. I think that's where my discrepancy would be.
Yeah.
You know? And then Fisher slipping and sliding. Going to get recollected here by the 3 as they come into the battle. There's the 99. Tried to get it woed down and didn't quite do it. So while we're under caution here, we're going to step away for just a moment and have a look from our sponsors, Redenzo and Lazy Rocket Vinyl, for sponsoring us through the month of June. We'll be right back. Back at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Yinzer Graphics Super Late Model Tour. We've had a trio of cautions so far. We're just past the halfway point, actually at the halfway point right now as we get ready to go restarting here. Race Clark is the race leader, and Matt Grunberg is going to be second on the bottom of the racetrack. I don't know if the outside is necessarily the only place to restart this race. I'm surprised he didn't try the bottom.
I think the inside place is the place to be on the restart. And then you think after about 15, 20 laps, you're going to want to, maybe even 10 laps, you're going to want to start maybe migrating up the racetrack in grip. But definitely that inside lane has been very good on the restart, as we've seen a few times now. The place you want to be at, but we'll see how this race start is going to play out. Obviously, the 22 has control of the field. Get it in just a second right there.
Green flag back in the air, and Race Clark going to shoot off as fast as he can. Matt Grunberg to the inside in the 54, immediately going to take the lead back out of turn 2.
I was going to say he did not get a good enough restart. Or really, I should say Grunberg got a pretty good restart, not what the 22 needed. And immediately get on past. I think that's going to show right their inside place to be on the restart.
Ooh. In the background, Jordan McKeeboy's back up to 4th. Here's Richard Hines on the outside of Matt Hackathorn for 5th.
Bring that high lane, trying to find his way on by, but can't get past Hackathorn. Kind of boxed in behind McKeeboy.
Levi Zielinski now showing face here. There's a Charger on the bottom, and it looks like an SS up top. Again, I wonder how many different makes and models are in this race. There's at least 8.
Yeah, that's actually the default SS too. Yeah, the default iRacing scheme.
I didn't know that there was a default. I thought
you can pick like 3 or 4 different like car decals. It's pretty cool. I wish they did it for more cars.
the National would be a good car to do that with. I saw a version of the National car with the 07 to 09 Camry decals, and man, it looked really good. Here's Justin Cole back to the bottom in the 52 car, been in a couple incidents tonight, and trying to reclaim a couple more of those spots, and he'll get by Levi Zielinski, put himself back in 7th. Up in 2nd place, Kevin Finn all by himself, got back to 4th, and McKeeboy was looped around earlier tonight, but he's found himself back in 4th.
Doing a good job, and now can try to chase down the 22 up ahead for a podium spot. He's got to deal with Richard Hines as Hines takes a look down to the inside in turn 1. Not going to be enough, and McKeeboy's going to defend. Here comes now Hackathorn on the outside.
And ripping the wall groove there, and he should be able to complete this pass with a bit of a run down the straight. He does. Here comes Cole to the outside now. We'll see if Hines will try to fight for that upper groove. He does, but he's going to miss it, and Zielinski's going to fill the hole too.
Yeah, I think he knows that he's kind of out of luck here. He needs to drop back in behind potentially the 97. He's still going to fight, actually, the 97. Go to the inside.
Oh, big hit for the 97. And he's going to... Oh, he's upside down. Was he upside down?
He was on his side at the very least,
goodness.
But caution's going to fly.
I was looking for the camera button. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. But...
Yeah, and Just Story was also involved here. He's going to escape off the track, and another caution will fly here as we're just about halfway.
I gotta see this in slow motion because I was looking for the camera button to try to switch views, and I thought I saw the bottom of that car for a second.
Oh, you did not just completely over, but you got very close to it.
Just a slip and a slide and a bobble. Yeah, he's gonna catch the safer barrier right here, and he's actually get launched up on. Wow, that is something right there. And you see the 77 of Heel going to get involved. Does Corey Lindsay get a piece of it?
Destroy him.
Yeah,
wow.
Just got a nick there, I think. Back a little bit more and see if we can get a slightly different angle of this. But he just rides up the wall. Sparks flying, and Jordan Teal sees the roof of that car. Brings back Daytona vibes with Ryan Newman there, unfortunately. That's the 77 will right on board the nose and see what he saw off the hood of this car. That's a bad spot to lose grip. Right back up on top of the wall.
Yeah, great job slowing down, all things considered.
See him driving the car inside the cockpit. He never gave up trying to drive it. Let's ride on board full speed with Jordan Teal.
Now working through turn 3 now.
And right there, there's the slip. And great job slowing down. I know he did get some damage. How much did Just Story get out of that? Because he dropped pretty quickly as if it was major, but I didn't see him take a big hit.
Oh, not with that. He took a major hit to the inside wall here. Right here.
Oh, yeah. And that'll do it. Corey Lindsay had a great view of this. We'll ride on board with him. Great looking paint scheme from the hood view here, too.
Oh, yeah. Might pick up a slight crinkle of damage here.
Trying to gun it through, hole closed. Just a slight tap.
You see the nose bent just a bit, but nothing major for actually going to come out of pit road. Came on this time. Oh, they're staying sharp.
Whoa, hello. Then they're going to fight over that spot in a little bit, but Tanner Sharp will get it. That's 8th position on the racetrack. About 11 minutes away from finishing up this race. And Kevin Finn has found himself in 2nd. 54, that's a great looking blue that he's got on that car.
Yeah, his cars always look amazing.
Really gotta fix that. Upper crowd, it's ugly. That is the ugliest puke brown.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's supposed to, so basically it was supposed to be dark gray with a lighter gray overlaid with a yellow number, but obviously the gold is the one that got chosen for that, so that's a problem. I could fix it now, but I don't want to pull away.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Deal with the ugly graphics for now. I've been doing too many of these. I'm tired of it.
Is working a Pontiac? Or is he? Oh no, he's in the Chevy. I thought it's a Pontiac.
All right, so let's actually go through the field and find out. We got a lap to figure this out. So Supra, Fusion,
Yeah.
Monte Carlo, Supra, Charger, Camaro, SS,
Yeah.
Camaro,
Camaro.
SS, and Fusion, Supra, Camaro, and there was a Camry back there as well, Levi Zielinski. Wow. All right, coming back to the green flag here, we'll be working lap number 79, hearing the hardware issues for the 7 car as well, so he'll bow out of this race at lap number 75. 78 is where we'll restart, and Gruber gets a great launch on the restart, and double wide behind him. Finn goes to second, McKeeboy back to third.
Comes looking up the inside now. Race car going to try to work his way on through. Will get by Cobe. McKeeboy flirting with the outside wall.
Oh, a big stab on the brakes for the 52, not to rear end the 22. As we work towards our last 45 laps.
Clark trying to move his way away. You see the 50 has to get on the brakes again to make sure he doesn't ram into Race Clark. Clark going to get clear of McKeeboy. Here comes Cobb's turn up the inside.
Yeah, getting a big stack up of cars. There's about 6 in this fight. 52's leading, and here comes the 3 at Tanner Sharp, who led some laps early. He wants the lead back, or at least to get a little closer to it. Hackathon on the bottom clips the apron. The 21 goes back around the outside, and Hines is there to follow.
Oh, Hackathon getting a little bit tight off the corner, almost getting into McKeeboy on the outside. Oh, and Hackathon getting loose.
That was a big slide, and we've seen a lot of loose condition on quarter exit tonight. It seems to get worse as the tires burn off. Perhaps they're leaning a lot on that right rear tire for grip, and it's burning out over the course of the run. Jordan Teal still strongly running in 9th place, even after all the damage that he's received on the front of this car. We'll run on board the gyro cam here.
It's just some pretty major nose damage to that car, but it hasn't stopped him from moving up through the orders. Running in 9th and has got a bunch of cars up ahead.
Little whiplash there as they head down the racetrack, closing in on 40 laps to go this time by McKeeboy. Now under attack from Richard Hines. He'll go to P6 if he can just finish the job on that green and white Supra. He'll take a look to the inside of Sharp.
3 wide for a second.
How about a SimTV sound surge? Let's crank it up. Trouble, and there's a spin in turn number 3, and the caution is out again tonight. And it's Jordan Teal that went around at first, and Corey Lindsay in the 00. And just under 40 laps to go, our 4th caution of the night. Go back and take a look at how this one started. And Teal goes to the bottom of the track, and does he get collected here with 21 right here on the straightaway? Just they get too tight together, and where Corey Lindsay gets involved. Fisher sniping his way through the middle of that, for lack of a better term. Again, a corner exit. We've seen this kind of crash happen a couple times, and this is what I talked about earlier in the race when I said that you got to know how wide your car is. This is what I was talking about. These cars are a little wider than the Cup cars that we're typically used to seeing. And I think that's come into play in a couple accidents tonight where just misjudging where the corners of your car are have led to an accident. So pit stops, not everyone has come on down. Grunberg has chosen to come down for a stop, but it looks like
it's going to be the final time we see him on pit road. I mean, after this, we're only going to have 35 laps to go, not even. Probably. Almost a little over 30 laps for the restart. I don't know why I'm tired. I really haven't done much today. It was a bit of a lie.
What'd you do today?
Those videos.
That video editing really knocking it out of you?
Yeah. Also went and did a lot of shopping.
We did a lot of shopping? Yeah, we went to Wegmans, and then we went to Walmart for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we went to Target and walked around, and we drove to the Best Buy parking lot. that was our errands today.
I don't know. That's more than most people are doing today. Or at least nowadays.
Well, because
the quarantine.
hashtag 6 feet, hashtag quarantine. Hashtag flatten the curve,
Not
Finian.
use hashtag 6 feet because
Oh no. Oh
it's gonna
man.
have two very different meanings. I always find it funny that they chose 6 feet. Like
We're not-
could
we're
have
not-
made it 7 feet just to
That's the length of one adult human male. So you could lay down a person between you and someone else. Which then you wouldn't be 6 feet from that other person, but that's a whole other separate thing. We're not the mandated 6 feet apart here. I think we're about 2 on the graphic and about 3 inches in real life. Hashtag 3 inches. Oh man. Caution lights are ablaze here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the first running of the Intergraphic Super Late Model Tour. Having a little bit of fun up here in the booth as we wait to go back green for our last 30 laps.
Yeah, it's been a fairly short race. We've only been live. We've been live for 45 minutes and barely racing for about half an hour. We're about to finish this thing up. Guys go green in the NLB, take about 8 minutes, and I'm sure that's what some of these guys are going to want to do, although Grunberg's hoping that he can get a little bit of extra time to try to get back to the front, but considering he started in 11th and went up to first in, what, 15, 20 laps? Not going to be that much of an effort for him.
Waiting for the field to come into the shot here, the yellow flag flying like the torch in the Statue of Liberty. It's holding that very proudly. It's actually processing within his grip. Out of turn 4, lap number 94. Green flag back in the air here from Bristol. A lot of wave arounds towards the tail of the field as well. And Grunberg going to go right to the bottom of the racetrack and going to make this look easy. And he's through. Wow. It's a race out there, guys. Let's go.
He's going to easily take away the lead. Hines moving on into second place, going to try to hold off Race Clark and others in behind.
I drove off into 3, but turn 2 rather.
I'm gonna say he's about to take the lead back away from Grunberg. This is gonna try. He's gonna go up high. It's gonna give the lane to Race Clark on the inside of that 22.
Oh, almost really flirting with the wall out of that second, or the last corner rather. Again, the back straightaway again. Grunberg stretching his lead out. Race Clark looking for second behind them. There is a battle for 5th. It's Cole that's through. Sharp and Hackathorn now for 6th.
Almost a single file, except for Race Clark, who's going to dive up the inside. Hines almost getting to the outside wall. Going to try to defend that spot.
Oh, and the 87 big slide for a moment.
I can hear his tires. That's how hard he's pushing them.
And now Kevin Finn has come into the picture. Surprised that Finn hasn't maintained more of a status up at the top of the order tonight. He's been inside the top 5, but we haven't seen him battling for the lead as much as I would have thought tonight.
Well, if anything, he's looking to get second place away, and that'll be a pretty good finish for him tonight. And 4th is not shabby in the slightest. He's going to have a look up the inside of the Race Clark. Couldn't get on by.
Brett Miller, Corey Lindsay, this is back for 9th place as we complete lap number 100. This time through, it'll be 25 laps to go. In the Intergraphics Super Late Model Tour, Clark is going to go underneath Hines. Hines went way up the racetrack.
Hines
in
in
the
the wall.
wall.
Going to get into Kevin Finn. They're going to remain straight. That almost was a crash and a caution there. Barely avoiding it. Hines now fighting with Justin Coe. Coe trying to wrestle away that spot for 4th.
Well, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and apparently Bristol Motor Speedway tonight as Justin Cole goes through. Have you heard that term before?
Yes,
okay, thank God. You looked at me with a confused face.
No.
Okay, you didn't look at me, but you had a blank stare. I was trying to figure out if you had processed what I had said, so I'm just making sure. Here's Jordan McKeeboy to the bottom of the racetrack in the 21. That's on Hackathorn. Big slide by the 84.
I've seen Hackathorn come out of these corners loose a few times. He's been really pushing it out of these corner exits, but now it's going to be McKeeboy that gets on by the 84. Hackathorn trying to ride the outside again on exit.
Whew. Only 3 cars out of this race. Jordan T, Levi Zielinski, and Jess Story. The rest are still running, and there are 11 cars in the lead lap of the 12 of the that are still running on the racetrack at the moment. For second place, Kevin Finn now knocking on the door for P2.
Yeah, meanwhile, you can't even see Grunberg in the frame. He's that far ahead. There he is, 2 seconds up the road from these guys as they do get out for second place. Here comes Kevin Finn up the inside.
Oh, that was close. Almost got into the side of the 22's quarter panel. Behind him, 6th place under attack is Tanner Sharp. He's in the wall. Here comes McKeeboy to the bottom.
That's going to allow the 21 to get a nice run here into the corner. Sharp still trying to defend with that outside lane, running all the way up to the wall.
Good run. He'll re-clear the 84, but Hackathorn's still going to stick to the bottom group. I have been really impressed with how multi-lane this is with this particular car tonight. I don't think we're going to see that tomorrow with the Nationals or the Xfinity car in the RSCA series. I think it'll be pretty single groove up top, but tonight it's been a pretty spectacular race.
I don't feel like we might see with the Nationals, maybe not the Xfinity cars.
Yeah.
You got interesting too. I haven't seen a national car race here in quite a while, so it'll be something to look forward to tomorrow night.
We haven't seen a Bristol race since VRL ran it a little while ago.
Oh, Miller, I think in the background, or either Jeff Fisher.
Fisher, they got
into the wall, yeah.
There was a couple cars side by side. There was Tanner Sharp and Brett Miller. This is for 9th.
Yeah, Sharp's just been dropping down the order. Hasn't been able to keep his position up there, but he's going to hold on to 9th for now.
$15 laps to go next time by, and it's Grunberg now with a 3.2 second lead. He's just been absolutely dusting the field tonight, no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's an amazing lead to pull over in such a short amount of time. Give him enough time he could lap the field.
Tanner Sharp up the racetrack, sparks flying again off the tailpipes of that 3.
Flirting with that outside wall, and you can tell that he has the right side to bend up much more than the left.
Oh, there it is again. It's light scrape. Whoever does the paint on that car is they got a lot of business coming up. They get repainted a couple times. Probably put about 6 layers of paint on it just to keep it from coming off. Coming back now to close to 10 laps to go as Grunberg continues to stretch out his lead. Second place is about to be a battle of Race Clark and Kevin Finn again.
These guys have not been able to get separated from each other. This battle is still very much on for second. Been trying to chase him back down, and you see him getting a great run off the corner, having a look on the inside, potentially a dive down into turn 1, not able to get it done.
Here's a run to the inside of the turn number 2, down the bottom of 3.
Alright, just can't quite. You see him lose so much, and this is really where this tire started to fall off. That inside lane is pretty much unusable at the moment, maybe for a lunge, but not really to be alongside by corner exit. Outside lane just too good.
10 laps to go for Matt Grunberg, make it 9 as he comes on through to lead lap number 116. A little deeper in the field, Jordan McKeeboy, he's been up and down the order all night tonight. Sits in 6th after starting in 5th spot, so up and down all over the order is going to end up pretty much where he started tonight. There's Race Clark in the 22. In 2nd place. It's going to be a really good run for him. I don't think we've talked to Race Clark in a little while, so
no, we've not.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to him tonight. He can hang on to 2nd. Kevin Finn in 3rd place in the 14. He started this evening's race in 6th spot and has got himself inside the top 5, but not able to get past Race Clark here in the final couple laps and unable to go challenge Grunberg for the lead.
Yeah, still trying to chase back down Race Clark, but it looks like he's really struggling at this point in the run with Clark running faster and faster laps. Boy now trying to get back up to Richard Hines. He's only got about 5 laps to go when they come back to the line.
5 to go for Grunberg.
Oh, big amount of loose for the 52.
Big amount of loose.
Yeah, I couldn't think of how to finish that sentence. He's still loose out of the corner.
Oh my God, that was good. I'm gonna like Tomo made fun of. Oh, 52 loose.
It's a lot of loose.
Big ton. I think you said a big ton, didn't you?
I said a big amount.
I have to go back and watch it later because I have to remember exactly what you said, but it was funny. Tomo Borman made fun of me for saying a whole heck ton the other day.
A whole heck ton of loose.
Yeah. Oh man. For 5th place, that's Jordan McKeeboy that's got it. Hackathorn that wants it. This time by will be 2 laps to go for Matt Grunberg, and he continues to drive away. 5.7 second lead. And Kevin Finn has re-caught Race Clark. I'm not sure if he'll be able to do anything with him.
Yeah, he's got to be physical with him to get that spot. Meanwhile, looking at Hackathorn, McKeeboy, and Richard Hines battle for 4th place.
This time through white flag for Matt Grunberg. He went out front and dominated from the very drop of the green flag. He's going to come through turns 3 and 4. He'll pick up a victory at Bristol. Behind him for 5th. Hackathorn on the outside into turn number 3. Down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Contact up ahead from what I heard, but out of turn 4 for these guys. Hackathorn going to get loose and barely, I think, beat McKeeboy to the line by 18,000.
No, McKeeboy got him by 4,000.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That was good stuff. Back and watch that in slow motion there as they came across the line. 84, I think he just drives in here a little bit hard and slips up, up, up. Still think about your blunder. And across the racetrack, and there we go.
Yeah, I gotta.
Wow, that is what 0.04 of a second looks like, and that goes to the 21. That's who that went to. We head back live to Matt Grunberg celebrating on the start-finish line. Oh, he's showing off now. those burnouts are always cool.
He has a lot of practice doing it.
Oh,
he wins
he does.
a lot.
Reigning champion of both the trucks and the Cup Series from 2019. We'll head back to pit lane. Here's a look at your race results here tonight. It was Matt Grunberg in the 54 that took it home. Race Clark in second. The 14 of Kevin Finn was third place. We'll talk to him as well. It was a lot of loose. Okay, good to know. A whole lot of loose. As if loose is something tangible we can hold. Jess Story ended up 53 laps down back in 15th. We're going to jump to break real quick. We'll be right back for interviews. Stay with us. Welcome back live to Sim TV. We're here now with our race winner, Matt Grunberg, in the number 54. Matt, tonight you had a really successful race. Went out there and just basically drove away from the field tonight. Walk us through your evening this evening, because it was a pretty solid one leading this race.
Yeah, this was actually my first time in the super late model cars. I bought it before practice on Thursday, and I did about 100 laps of practice in it. It felt pretty good, and then I did a bunch of practice before the race started today. It seemed to pay off. I really like Bristol to begin with. I really like how it drives, and then you kind of got to drive it like a dirt track and search for the fastest way around the track. It's always changing depending on where cars are running. I know at the beginning of the race, a lot of cars were running up at the top, and the bottom was open, so I drove down there and was able to pick a few guys off and make my way up towards the front, and then from there it was just maintaining the lead and just fending them off.
Matt, congratulations on your race win tonight. Go home and celebrate. Enjoy it. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Race Clark came home in second place tonight. It was 6 seconds behind Matt Grunberg race, but a really solid race between you and Kevin Finn towards the end there. Walk us through that battle with the 14 and trying to chase down that 54 who was in his own zip code tonight.
Man, that was some good fun. As soon as I saw Matt wrapping the bottom, I'm not sure if you saw early when he got to me, I was like, I'm going to take away his line. And then I cracked the wall. So I was like, all right, screw that. He's faster. But other than that, a bunch of cautions, a bunch of battling different folk. But there at the end, had a lot of fun racing with Kevin. I mean, that was the most fun I've had in a good minute. And shout out to Richard. If you notice, I got kind of tight, and he checked up big time. And if he hadn't done that, we probably ought to died. So respect.
Tonight, high side versus low side. It seemed like it was working pretty evenly for the super lates. Tomorrow night, we're going to race the national car here. Do you think that'll be better, worse, or the same?
I think it'll actually be predominantly high side tomorrow with the national car. But it'll be interesting to see how passing will work. I don't know. I think the racing will be a little more dynamic tomorrow. But tonight, I felt like, wherever you able to make it work, it worked. And for me, the high side worked. All
right, Race Clark, P2 tonight, number 22 race. Thanks for talking to us. Nice job. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
All right, have a good night. Kevin Finn got it done, P3 tonight on the podium for the number 14. Couldn't quite get by the 22 car. Kevin, what'd you need to go up there and battle for second?
Man, I don't know what I needed, but the car is just way too tight on the bottom late in the run, but sometimes it was snapping loose. It was kind of unpredictable sometimes, but new tires were definitely key tonight.
I asked Race if the high side or the low side would be kind of a topic of discussion tomorrow. But talk to me tonight. I mean, how good was it on the bottom with this race car? Obviously, these cars are significantly lighter than the cars we'll be racing tomorrow. Do you feel like the bottom was a viable place to pass tonight?
Yeah, I noticed the bottom was pretty good to pass early in the run, but I tried it later in the run. So you guys saw trying to pass the race late, it just wouldn't work. It was tough to find out where the best place to pass was, but yeah, it was a fun night overall.
Kevin, thanks for talking to us. A nice run. Top 5 for the 14 tonight. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
Sure thing. That's going to wrap up the broadcast here tonight. Thanks for joining us from Bristol Motor Speed. We'll be back here tomorrow night for the Nationals at 9:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And at 9:25, you're going to see the Xfinity cars tackle the world's fastest half mile. It'll be with Corey Silva and Brandon Cruz, the PHR TV crew, right here on Sim TV with the RSCA. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night.